What is up, you guys? It's Carly. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk all about the experience that I had during the 2-week wait between when we tried to conceive and when I took my first pregnancy test. If you are somebody who is currently trying to conceive and in the 2-week wait, I am sending you all of my love, all of my patience, all of my confidence, and sending all that energy to you, because I know the 2-week wait is such an emotional time, and I found so much comfort in watching these videos and just seeing what everyone's experience was and hearing all the different things that you guys went through whenever you were going through the 2-week wait. If you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am, hello, welcome. I'm Carly, and I am a labor and postpartum doula, and I create content all about pregnancy and labor and motherhood and pretty much everything that falls in between. And I am currently pregnant with our second baby. I am in my second trimester now, and I have been taking you guys along throughout my entire journey from conception to pregnancy and all the things that have happened in between. So if you're interested in checking out like my daily vlogs of being pregnant, I will link that playlist above for you. But this is going to be another video in my fertility series. So if you are in the position of wanting to conceive and doing things to track your ovulation and all that kind of stuff, I have a full playlist of all the videos that I've made. I will link that above for you as well. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a part of this empowering community, especially if you are on your pregnancy journey. That is what I talk about all the time on this channel. And give this video a big thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far. It helps other people who are interested in this type of content find my channel on the internet. And definitely go over and follow me on my other socials, especially on Instagram. I am on stories every single day, chatting with you guys, catching up, showing like day-to-day stuff while I'm going through this pregnancy. And it's one of my favorite ways to actually talk with you guys. So definitely follow me there. But let's go ahead and jump into all the symptoms that I experienced during the 2-week wait, because I personally was convinced that I was not pregnant based on everything that I was experiencing and feeling. I just like didn't have a good, I don't know, some people say that they just knew they were pregnant, right? They just like had this gut feeling that they were pregnant, and I just did not experience that whatsoever. Now, I knew that I was going to be documenting everything and making videos about everything, so I was taking notes as if I was paying attention to everything, assuming that I was going to get pregnant, but I really just didn't feel like it. And I felt like I was kind of reaching for things, and a lot of the symptoms that I experienced felt very, very similar to what I experienced for starting my period. So I kept notes of everything starting at 4 DPO. And I'm gonna walk you guys through everything that happened during 4 DPO until I got my positive pregnancy test. Like I said earlier, I found a ton of comfort in watching these videos just so that I kind of had an idea of something that I could keep my eye out for, or different things that I could pay attention to and see if I was experiencing them too, and just like holding on to that sliver of hope that like you might be pregnant. And everybody's body is so different. We all experience things so differently. We all are in this position of deciding that we want something and trying to achieve it, and really like relying on each other's stories to know what we can expect and what could happen to us. And I just want to say, I know everyone's story is so different, and I hope that you just find some of the comfort that I found in watching these videos as well, and that this isn't a discouraging video. Just because you don't experience everything that I experienced does not mean that you aren't going to be pregnant, or that you aren't also experiencing symptoms that are an indicator that you are pregnant. So take everything with a grain of salt, and just know that I completely understand. I know managing anxieties and insecurities during this period of time is really difficult, and I have been there, I have felt it, and I know that for me, these videos helped. So hopefully my video will help you as well. So starting with 4 DPO, the 3 things that I noticed that day were crampy. I was very crampy, and I always experienced really low cramping is what I noticed. Kind of similar to period style cramps, but it felt even kind of lower. If that's the only way I can describe it, is that it was very much lower and like more internal. I was very irritable, and I had sore boobs. That is the one thing that I remember from my first pregnancy. If you didn't know, whenever we got pregnant with Wilder, it was not on purpose. I wasn't paying attention to all of these types of symptoms, but I do remember my boobs being incredibly sore, to the point that I was in the shower and like water hitting my boobs hurt so bad. So that was the one thing that I was keeping my eye out for, because even though I wasn't attempting to get pregnant at the first time and I experienced that symptom, it was something that stood out to me so clearly as being strange, and not something like indicating to me, oh, you might be pregnant. It was just something that I experienced. So I thought I was going to experience it this time, and I did not. I did not experience the soreness at all. I'm in my second trimester now, and I have not experienced that type of soreness whatsoever during this pregnancy. That's another note, is that if you have been pregnant before, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the same this go around. At 5 DPO, the only thing I made note of was irritability, and on 6 DPO, I didn't make note of anything. There was nothing that stood out to me as being like a symptom or something worthy of writing down. So that's why at this point, I just didn't think I was pregnant, because nothing seemed to be that out of the ordinary. 7 DPO, I had that low cramping experience again. I had upset stomach and I had gas. That's the one thing I noticed during all of these notes. A lot of the things that I wrote down had to do with my stomach hurting, with cramping, and with gas, which for me is very normal and indicative of my period coming. I always have those little crampiness, that like extra gas, that just needing to go to the bathroom more, diarrhea, that kind of stuff. And that was really the main bulk of the symptoms that I had during this time. 8 DPO, it was the same thing. Low cramps, especially in the morning. I noticed that it was often happening right in the morning when I woke up. And at nighttime when I was going to sleep, which again, very similar to my period. Usually it's at night or in the morning. I was constantly peeing, but I was also really, really thirsty and drinking a ton of water, and again, gas. But I also made note that I had dairy that day. A lot of times I stick to a pretty plant-based diet, and I don't really keep like dairy in the house, and I didn't want to be like making up stuff, you know, like being indicative of pregnancy, when really it was just because I ate cream cheese or something. So I did make note that I ate dairy. On 9 DPO, I was really tired. That's the main thing that I started noticing as I got closer to getting a positive pregnancy test, is that I was just fatigued and exhausted. So on 9 DPO, I felt really, really tired. I was craving orange juice, which is kind of another thing that I experienced with my first pregnancy, and something that I've experienced throughout this entire pregnancy is craving like orange juice and like tart flavored stuff and pineapple and mango and like that kind of category of stuff. So I was noticing that I really wanted orange juice. And again, I had those low cramps at nighttime and first thing in the morning. And again, more gas, but I ate dairy that day too. You guys hear Wilder? I don't know what he's saying. He's with his dad. He's screaming. And then 10 DPO, low cramps and gas. So 10 DPO is the first day that I got my positive pregnancy test. If you guys haven't seen my pregnancy announcement video, I will link it here for you. You can go and see. I included all the days that I took tests leading up to the day that I actually got a positive test. I got 2 negatives. I got 1 negative on 8 DPO and 9 DPO. And then I got a positive on 10 DPO. So for me, I have a 25-day cycle, which makes tracking kind of tricky, because technically you're supposed to take a test 6 days before your missed period or at 10 DPO, and those days overlap for me. So I was really like, I don't know, I was very discouraged because I took the test at technically 8 DPO for me, but that's also 6 days before my missed period. So I didn't get a positive pregnancy test until 4 days before my missed period. So 10 DPO, I tracked everything in my fertility journal. I did a whole video walking you guys through exactly what I did, like step by step, and the test that I took and all that stuff. If you want to see that, I will also link that video. Everything that I talk about, I will have linked down below or in the cards above. And this was really helpful, just keeping me on task and paying attention to everything. Yeah, so these definitely have negatives on 8 DPO, 9 DPO, and 10 DPO is the first day that I got a positive. So then beyond 10 DPO, when I had a positive test, I still continued testing. I did a whole video about like my progression lines and everything. I continued testing. 11 and 12 DPO, same thing, sore back and low cramping. The low cramping is something I experienced pretty much from 7 DPO all the way through a large portion of my first trimester. I had sore boobs on the 13 DPO and cramping. 14th, I had cramping and sore body. I noticed my body just felt very fatigued and very weak and just, I don't know, I did not feel good at all. And those were the biggest symptoms that I had. So at that point, I did have a positive test. So leading up until then, I'd say the number one experience that I had was low cramping. As far as libido is concerned, I definitely didn't have like a spike or decrease in libido. Everything felt very normal. I didn't notice anything like that. I didn't notice any cravings of anything. I didn't have any like acne coming up, not in the days leading up to a positive pregnancy test, at least. During the first trimester, that's another story. I did a whole video about like all the things I experienced during my first trimester, during my first trimester recap and Q&A. But during the 2-week wait, those are the things that I experienced. Now, again, if you guys are going through the 2-week wait, I'm sending you all of my love and all the good energy. I know it is a tough time to learn patience, and it is a gentle reminder about what parenthood is like, and that is surrender, right? That is the number one thing I talk to all of my doula clients about, especially when it comes to birth, is that you have to ultimately just surrender to what is going to happen, because as parents and as birthing people, there are many things that are out of our control. So I'm sending all of that positive energy to you and empowering energy to you and good fertility energy your way. If this is the type of content that you guys enjoy watching, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a part of this empowering community, and give this video a big thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.